Aren't Mondays so much better after a Raiders win? I don't know about you. I woke up this morning a little bit hungover, but I was ready to rock and roll coming into work today. So if you love the Raiders, sub for Raiders dubs. We got videos for you guys literally every single day. I'm going to be live tomorrow. We're not going to be live on Thursday because of Thanksgiving, but at the end of the day, it feels so good to know that the Denver Broncos have never beaten the Las Vegas Raiders. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and it's Victory Monday here. We're going to go through some of the top trending topics after the Raiders won 22-16 over the Denver Broncos. But today's show is presented by True Classic Tees. The holidays are right around the corner, and a lot of times people ask me, Mitch, what do you want? I would love a True Classic tee. I love the polos. I love the T-shirts. Ladies, if you're out there watching and you need to get something for your significant other, for your husband, for your son, heck, honestly, they have all sorts of awesome gear. So go to trueclassictees.com/chat, and because the holidays are here, we got 25% off your order. So all you got to do is go to the link down in the comments section. I'm also going to be nice enough to put that for you guys in the description. So coming up here again, Raiders, Broncos, some people call it overreaction Monday. That's usually after a loss, but there have been quite a bit of overreactions already after the Raiders got a W, sitting now at 3-7 on the season. Some people wanted the Raiders to lose. Some people wanted the Raiders to win. For me, though, did Raider Nation deserve this win? This is for just win, babies. Believe it, baby. When you think of all the mental frustration that this fan base has had to deal with this season, that this fan base has had to deal with for a very long time, this win felt good. Sure, it puts you down a little bit for the NFL draft in 2023, but Mondays are always better when the Raiders win. And as far as I'm concerned, I do this show for the nation. I know when I walked into work today, I felt good. I felt ready to go, and I know a lot of y'all are probably feeling the exact same way. You could tell that the Raiders players and the coaching staff really wanted this win. After the game, there was a video that went viral. I actually posted it on my Twitter, at MitchellRens365, of all the people celebrating. You hear a lot of tank, right? A lot of tank talk. But when you're an NFL team, especially the Raiders, and you got that mantra, just win, baby, you got the mantra, commitment to excellence, you can't tell me if you watch this video that you don't see how ecstatic, how elated, how just excited that this team was to come away with a win, and the fact that it was against a rival, you know that that's even better. So here's my question to the nation. Are you happy the Raiders beat the Broncos? And I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's show. So for some of you that don't know what that means, it means it's going to be the very, very first comment that you see when you click into the video. And I want everyone to answer it. Yes or no? Are you happy that the Raiders beat the Broncos? Hell yeah, I'm happy that the Raiders beat the Broncos after the Donkeys. I get it. Draft picks, people want draft picks. Anytime somebody throws the word at you, tank or rebuild, people want extra draft picks. But you know what? I understand that past Raiders regimes, Gruden and Mayock, were just terrible in the first round. Until I see a first-round pick, I'm always just going to look at it as a unicorn. Yeah, I know. It's out there. Maybe for some people might believe in it. Other people don't. The Raiders, to me, though, I want them to win games. I believe good teams, franchises, and I'm going to throw out this D word here, a dynasty is built on always trying to win and having that commitment to excellence. So here's the thing, though. Yeah, the Raiders won. The Raiders are still in the top 4 as it stands right now in the 2023 NFL Draft. Some people are like, well, wait a minute, Mitch. The Raiders beat the Broncos twice. It goes by strength of schedule, which right now the Silver and Black, if the season were to end today, would have the number 4 overall pick, which I think is still obviously a very good spot to be in. And you got plenty of draft capital entering this offseason. As it stands right now, some of these are compensatory picks, so you might still, obviously see a few things change. And if the draft were to start today, these would be your picks. In terms of the number, that's always going to fluctuate because you still got 7 games left. But really what I want to look at here is this. To me, the Raiders, there are 4 prospects that I believe are better than all the other prospects for the Silver and Black. You could look at the 2 quarterbacks in C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. Stroud from Ohio State, who I've been told is who the Raiders have their eye on. Bryce Young from Alabama. And then on the defensive side of the football, Will Anderson Jr., a phenomenal edge rusher. And then the defensive tackle from Georgia, Jalen Carter. Technically, all four of these players are in the running, and you could potentially get them. And if you could potentially get them, I'm still going to take that win because wins do feel a lot better, even though the long scheme, I don't think that the Raiders make the playoffs. Now, today's show, remember, y'all, is presented by our awesome sponsor, True Classic. Literally, when I think about what I like to wear during the holidays, I like to be comfortable, but I also always try to look good as well. And anytime that somebody can take the mental idea of what I have to get somebody for a gift, it just makes it a lot easier on me. So all you got to do is go to trueclassictees.com/chat. 25% off your entire order. The holidays are almost here, and there's plenty of t-shirt cheer thanks to our sponsor, True Classic Tees. Fellas, we have the perfect gift for your wish list. True Classic Tees makes an amazing gift. And True Classic has already helped over 2 million men look great in their tees, and now you can save big while you do so. Get 25% off True Classic with my exclusive link, trueclassic.com/chat, and the discount doesn't stop there. You'll save even more during their site-wide sale. Support our show. Check them out at trueclassictees.com/chat. Whether you want to get a polo, whether you want to get a t-shirt, it's 25% off at trueclassic.com/chat. Free shipping included on purchases over $100. And I'm going to say it one more time because maybe you were sleeping in the background. Santa doesn't have to be the only one slaying this holiday season. Promo code chat at trueclassic.com/chat. I don't know. If I found one of these things underneath my Christmas tree, I'd be pretty happy. Maybe you might even find yourself underneath, I'm not going to say that, underneath a mistletoe as well. Let's go to the next overreaction story here. Derek Carr deserves the game ball in this Week 11 game. 4 just win babies. The game ball. I will give it to Derek Carr. That doesn't mean he was the MVP. We'll talk about that in just a second. But that win meant a lot. You saw the frustration last week with DC. A grown man up on the podium crying because of frustration. You could tell he was mad. You can say what you want about DC, whether you think he's going to be back next year, whether you think he's a good leader, whether you think he's a top 10 quarterback. This guy cares about this team. He bleeds silver and black, and I don't believe anybody doesn't think that that's true. But this picture in the locker room after that win of McDaniels and Carr hugging, it gave me chills. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. It gave me chills. I've been really tough on McDaniels this year for obvious reasons. I've been very tough on Derek for a long time. But I am proud of the performance that these two gave because, was it pretty? No. But good teams find a way to win. Good teams find a way to execute. It's 16-13, a minute 22 left in that game. You got no timeouts. You lead your team all the way down the field, kick a field goal. You go into overtime. You get the ball first. You don't let the ball go into the donkey's hands. You get a touchdown. You win 22-16. I saw on social media that Rich Gannon put out that Derek Carr is 8-2. In overtime, which is the best winning percentage of any quarterback in NFL history to play in at least 10 overtime games. I will say it's not 100% accurate because one of those games was Derek actually had a loss against the Chargers, but he didn't finish that game out due to an injury. So 8-1. Derek deserves the game ball, but who was the MVP, right? That's my question to you. A lot of good. You have to sit up here and say a lot of good. Was there some bad? Yeah, absolutely. Sam Webb struggled, but he is a good young prospect, and anytime you get a UDFA getting that many snaps, that's a good sign. I'm going to look glass half full because I've been waiting to do a Victory Monday show for a long time. So let me know down in the comments, y'all, who do you think was the MVP for the Las Vegas Raiders against the Denver Broncos? If I had to give out 5 game balls, here's who they're going to. Number 1, quarterback Derek Carr, as I just mentioned. He got it done. There were definitely missed throws. There were definitely times I was like, oh, Derek, you're better than that. But 23 of 37, 307 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. It was the fourth quarter performance. It was the overtime performance. And when he went into that huddle late in that game, the amount of confidence that he had, you knew that the Raiders were going to come away with a win. And it felt so good, man. Let's go to the next game ball. Davante Adams. Here you go, my good sir. You deserve a game ball. He was electric in the first half. And, it's kind of funny. Keelan Cole, after the game, spoke like what he would do if he was a defensive coordinator going up against Davante Adams. And Keelan Cole was like, man, I would triple team him. And I don't blame him. Yes, you can see that the Broncos have a lot of confidence in Patrick Surtain, and Patrick Surtain is a good young corner. But Davante Adams is a different human being. 13 targets, 7 catches. He probably even had a drop or two. 141 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the game-winning touchdown. Davante Adams is that dude, and if y'all want to just throw some waving emojis down in the comments, because when I saw Davante wave to those Broncos fans, oh man, did that feel good. Other game balls that I got to get rid of here or give to, a lot of people watched the show last night, and we had over 90,000 people tune in, but the people who always show up and super chat and interact with us in the comments, here are the game balls to all y'all. David Nutting, Raiders Podcast, drop a $200 super chat. Anthony Gonzalez was wilding out. He's like, bro, I'm dropping $500 if the Raiders win. Jason Klein, he's been showing up big time. Raider 500 dropped 2 100s. Luis Antonio got into the mix, dropped 3 of them. Raider Ron, David Zahn, 2 of the people on my Raiders Report Mount Rushmore. They were battling out, and they might even run for presidency in 2024 from their super chats. Artino sent in 2 200s. He was just like, bang, bang, there you go. Lucky Irish got it started. Steven Montanez got it started. And Tryvan, as always, is carrying this team. And for me, every single week, we're going to give away an MVP. And Tryvan, you won the MVP this week. You've been crushing it this season. In fact, I'm putting you up there, like I said, on my Mount Rushmore of people who are really helping this show grow. So, Tryvan, you're going to be in the show today. You're going to be in the show Tuesday. And I called you last night. I think you and I had a little few too many, but I'll try to get a hold of you again this week. Major shout out to Tryvan, our Week 11 MVP. Let's go to some more game balls here after the Raiders took down the Broncos 22-16. Josh Jacobs. Jacobs, I just think, loves running through Denver. He was incredible the first time the Raiders played, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then Week 11 versus the Broncos, 24 carries, 109 yards, 3 catches, 51 receiving yards. One thing I'm hoping that McDaniels realizes is that Jacobs can catch the football. And, yeah, you might have Amir Abdullah there. Yeah, you might have Brandon Bolden there. But Jacobs gives you the best opportunity to win. And that throw that Carr hit Jacobs up the sideline to put you at the 7-yard line, 1st and goal. Yeah, obviously I wanted them to score. Jacobs can do it all. So can we please keep feeding that man the rock? Let's go to another game ball here. We're going to go to the defensive side of the football. This is the best defensive game that I've seen the Raiders play. Was it against the Broncos, one of the worst offenses in the league? Sure. Denzel Perryman deserved a lot of credit. This is the very first game of the season where the Raiders held an opponent under 20 points. And, weird, you ended up getting a win. Perryman, 6 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 2 quarterback hits, no sacks, 3 pressures, though. His ability to really diagnose and read some of these running plays that they had, which then resulted in big losses. Perryman was flying all over the football field. He was great in pressure, and Patrick Graham finally did something that he hasn't done the entire year. He started using some of his athletes like athletes and letting them get after the quarterback and get pressure instead of dropping them back into coverage and playing it safe. This was a good defensive game for Graham, for Denzel Perryman. Today's MVP, though, Week 11 MVP on the field, I got to give it to Maxx Crosby. Maxx Crosby was the MVP of this game. He was flying all over the football field. His pressure, it's sensational. 9 sacks on the season, 6 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 3 quarterback hits, 2 sacks. But, there's going to be a stat that not a lot of people who didn't watch the game don't know. It was at halftime, right before the half. It's 10-7 ball game. And Broncos are going down the field. You got a 25-yard field goal attempt here by Brandon McManus. And what happens? Blocked by who? The Condor. His arm gets it up there, swats it down. If that doesn't happen, I don't know if you ever even go into overtime. And after that block deflection, that totally changed the game. I really think the momentum then shifted and went to the Raiders' side, because then that following play coming out of the half, the Broncos muff the kick, and then it's a short field. Raiders tie it up at 10 after they get the football back. It was a huge momentum shift, and to me, yes, the offense played well. Yes, the offense led you on game-winning drives. But Maxx Crosby, to me, deserves to be the MVP of that game. Now, remember, y'all, you can always interact with me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, at MitchellRens365. I'm going to be live later on today on Locals, just breaking down the game, answering all y'all's questions. You can hop on over there at RaidersReport.locals.com. Final story here, Josh McDaniels, because the Raiders won, is officially off the hot seat. I got to say Tuck will tuck that to that one. Are the Raiders going to fire him? No. It's already been basically decided that he's going to return in the offseason unless they literally don't win any more games. The amount of people, though, that were like, oh, Mitch, told you so on McDaniels, told you so, McDaniels. They beat the Broncos. The Raiders have 3 wins this season. 2 against Denver, 1 against Houston. If you're proud of that, shame on you. Was this a big win? Am I hoping that this continues? Yes, absolutely. I don't want to lose. I don't like tanking. I just can't live by that mantra. So McDaniels, you did a good job yesterday, but make sure that this team is ready to play against Seattle because they've been playing some solid football. Before I leave y'all, I just want to say thank you to everyone who wished my dad a happy birthday. I talked to him this morning. He was also feeling it a little bit, and he was ecstatic on the amount of people that sent in super chats wishing him a happy birthday, just seeing all the love that y'all gave, not only him, but the love that we have for each other here on this show. It was really, really cool. So from my dad, he just wanted to say thank you to every single person out there, and if anybody wants to try to guess how old Richie is, please, I would be more than thrilled to see it in the comments, and I will definitely show him after today's show. Raiders get the win, 22-16 over the Donkeys. Oh, Victory Monday just hits a whole lot different.